The battle of FT against certain Brewers fans that are always waiting for tomorrow continues. The latest story comes from our friend Adam McCalvey from MLB.com, who did some great work finding out more in terms of the offer package for the Tigers when it came to the Brewers. Initial offer, according to McCalvey's story, 3 prospects, all hitters. At least 2 were top 100 prospects. Luis Pena was one of 3 prospects included in the offer. Well-liked, super speedy. He said the Brewers believe they made a strong offer to the Tigers for Skubal, maybe stronger than what the Dodgers offered. And then we start playing the rankings game, and I know AJ's going to love this, right? And also it depends on the publication. So McCalvey works for MLB. MLB has their own prospect list. For example, River Ryan's number 68 on that list. AJ and many others.
He's 28 years old. He's 28 years old. I'm sorry. He's 28 years old. I'm sorry.
The Brewers were not going to trade Jesus Mate. He's number 1, and nobody is faulting that.
No.
The debate comes to, was there a package that could have still landed this guy, right? If it's Luis Pena against Zaire Hope, and then the Dodgers feel like they have the edge there because the Tigers like him better, that's their right. You need to start looking at the next set of pieces.
I think the reason they liked Hope better than Pena was because of the power.
Yeah, there's definitely more power. I think there's more upside. He's more of a high-risk, high-reward player for me. Yes. Luis Pena is going to be a big leaguer. He's going to have speed. He's going to be a contributor there. But Hope has a chance to be a star and has a chance to not work out. It's just how it looks, okay? Other guys, for example, there's a lot of debate about someone like Jet Williams. Jim Bowden doesn't think he should be anywhere near a top 100. He's already been traded once. He's 76 on MLB's list. Maybe he was included and the Tigers agreed with Bowden, and they're like, we don't like him. A lot of this gets to semantics on who it could be in there. Here's the part that I'm reading. If the Brewers traded away a starter like Logan Henderson, Tarik Skubal was theirs. I think that's the determining factor.
Brewers fans are saying Logan Henderson is better than Tarik Skubal.
Then that's fine. That's your decision. And if that's how you feel, that's okay. If you need another, whatever it is, 4 years of Logan Henderson, who is a very good pitcher, then that's okay. But that was the guy that would have made the separation. I don't think anyone's debating that. If they said, hey, we've got Pena here and Hope a little bit higher, but if you include Henderson, we like him much better than the other pitchers on the other side, that gets the deal done. That's the decision that probably came across the table.
They made the decision they made. Listen, but we're not mad because, I'm not mad because that Skubal went to the Dodgers. Like, that's the Tigers' right to choose. I just, as a fan of baseball, would love to see the Brewers have done it. We talk about this all the time on this show. Every once in a while, I just go for it. And they didn't want to give up Logan Henderson. That's the Brewers' right? But I'm more of a, hey, I'd like to win one World Series than just make it to the playoffs every year and never win. Like, cool, you made the playoffs, cool, which is really hard to do, right? That's where I think my frustration has come in, and people are like, oh, he hates the Brewers. I love the Brewers. If you know me, I love the Brewers. I love Matt Arnold. I love Pat Murphy. I love the Brewers Stadium. I love going there. It's great, okay? So don't put those words in my mouth because I've never said that. But as a fan, I would have liked to just have seen them go. And we talk about this all. We talk about the Rays. We talk about some of these smaller markets. We say the Orioles all the time, man. With those years, they needed to take that next step. And they did, I guess, with Corbin Burns. It didn't work out.
Yeah, but my problem is twofold. We'll get back to the deal
players
portion here.
Okay, let's go back to the Corbin Burns. The players they gave up to the Orioles or to the Brewers for Corbin Burns. How are they doing?
Joey Ortiz and DL Hall. Yeah, I'll take Corbin Burns. Thank you.
Joey Ortiz has been fine. He's a serviceable big league player. He's not a special player.
Corbin Burns, please.
DL Hall has been in and out of the pitching because he's hurt. I think there was one other guy in that deal. But Corbin Burns had a great year.
There's a reason why stars get paid so much money. It is a free marketplace. And the industry says these guys are worth so much more than everyone else. That is how a free market works.
And then the other thing they brought up was the 2008 CC Sabathia trade. Okay, CC got him into the postseason, legitimized the Brewers because they were bad for a long time, re-legitimized the Brewers as a big league franchise, okay? Sure, they lost in the first round. Okay, that's a crapshoot. Fine. But then they were like, oh, the guys we gave up, we had to give up Michael Brantley. Michael Brantley was the throw-in. Matt Laporta was the guy. The other guys in that trade were the guys that they thought were going to be so good. Michael Brantley was literally the throw-in. He just turned out to be really good. That's why these rankings and all that doesn't. I mean, I was never on a top 100 list. I joke with J.J. Cooper all the time.
Yeah, we're not
19 years in the major leagues, never
lists.
made any of those lists.
You didn't have to trade Jesus Mate to get this deal done. It's a fact. It is. There was a prospect package that would have gotten this done, adding more, right? Oh, we included 3 hitters, and 2 of them were in the top 100. Okay, well, there's another one in the top 100. You might have had to add him. You might have had to make it 4. You might have had to add Logan Henderson. There was a combination that worked that would have gotten you over the top that wouldn't have killed your franchise forever. This was your Skubal for CC. Go ahead, you go, and then there's 4 types of Brewers fans that I want to lay out here.
So I remember this. I remember 2003 offseason, I got traded to the Giants, okay? The night before I got traded, or the day before, I got a call from LaTroy Hawkins. But he said, you're going to the Cubs. You're going to be traded to the Cubs. Dusty called me about you, and he said, I love you. I want you to come to the Cubs with me, okay? The next morning I wake up, I was traded to the Giants. Why? Because at the last minute, it was Joe Nathan, Booth Bonser, and they threw in Francisco Liriano, who at the time was an A-ball guy. Nobody knew who the heck he was, okay? They threw him in. The Cubs, whatever their Cubs package was, the Twins are like, screw that, we're going to take this package. Well, the Giants really wanted me at the time, so they threw in that extra player that got it done. If you want to get the deal done, you want a player bad enough, there is a package to get it done. I'm sorry, and that's the way I look at it. If I'm a GM and I use the Red Sox. They really wanted Adley Rutschman. They threw in their top 2 pitching prospects and said, Orioles, go get them, Tigers. Go get them, Orioles, because we'll see what happens, but we really want Adley. Fine. If that's your prerogative as a GM, Matt Arnold has a right to say no to this, and Scott Harris has a right to pick this prospect package over this prospect package, and he chose the Dodgers over the Brewers. That's his right. It's fine.
That's fine. And right now, I'm seeing 4 versions of Brewers fans. There's 2 that I like, and there's 2 that I don't like. Do you want the ones I like or don't like first?
The ones you like.
The ones I like.
No,
okay.
let's go negative and
the ones we don't like first.
Yes.
Okay. One set of Brewers fans said, we could not have landed this player. They did not like our prospects. We could not have gotten Skubal. This McCalvy report proves it. No, it doesn't. He's laying out some of the players that were put in this proposal.
One!
But how does he know this?
One of the players.
How does he know this?
Well, the team tells him this.
Oh, okay.
And
one of the players.
I don't think the team's lying, but people are like, see, this proves it. It's been an hour of FT, and you haven't shown that you're wrong, guys. They could not have landed Skubal.
Okay, so maybe
you're
the Brewers
reading the article wrong. Let's read through it together. We should do a live session where we go through word by word.
Maybe the Brewers prospects aren't as great as the Brewers think they are.
That's fine, but still they could have gotten him. So that's number one. That's one set of Brewers fans that say, no, FT, we could not have landed him. That's false. That's fiction. That's one. Number 2 is the set of Brewers fans that say, Logan Henderson till I die, I'm not trading Tarik Skubal for him. That's fine. That's your choice. I would have gone the other route. Many other GMs would have too. That's 2 of them. Here's the other 2. One set. What are we doing? Why didn't we get Tarik Skubal? We've never won a World Series. We love you. Here's another set, last set, which I think is very interesting. We didn't get Skubal. I value them for trying. But wait, hold up. Dustin May, okay. Where was Clay Holmes? Where was Robbie Ray? Where was Casey Mize? I hope that the organization's right that Dustin May is better than all of these guys, because if we're huffing and puffing, we have the best prospects in the sport, and we didn't get Skubal, why didn't we get 1 or even 2 of these other guys that could start a playoff game for us? I better not be watching bullpen games every day in October. That's the other subset of Brewers fans that are pissed right now. I'm over Skubal, but what happened on Monday? I got 2 bullpen guys that I think I'll like. But are we just going to be bullpenning our way through October and get railroaded at some point?
Miz and bullpen.
They're going to get wrecked at some point if it's bullpen day every single day. You can't do that every day. Some teams have won with like 2 starters, 3 starters. You can't just win with Miz and or Harrison. I don't think. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I want the Brewers to win a World Series. They've never won one. Usually we're all rooting for the team that's never won. If you just don't have any dog in the fight, you want to see a great story.
If your team is out, yes.
Even in 2016, you probably were like,
no.
Okay, I'm
not going to go there.
I'm not going to go there.
Those words will never come out of my mouth.
Nope.
I was not. I was rooting for Cleveland. I'll admit. I freely admit that. Nope, that is not 1,000,000% not true.
It took a bad turn. But so what do you think about the 4
I agree with all 4 of where you are, yes.
Okay.
But the problem is the first 2 that you said that are so negative have just attacked. You know what I don't even.
Go ahead.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I just love when they're like, "Oh, these guys wear backwards hats, so they're stupid." Like it's like automatically that's their argument. It's like, what are you talking about? I can wear my hat forward. I'll wear my hat forward. You know why I don't wear a hat backwards? Because I don't want to show off Kratz with my glorious locks, and Kratz
You got a
doesn't
great
have
haircut.
any. So if I didn't have such good hair, then it's my fault that I wear my hat backwards, Kratz.
I could care less that I wear my hat backwards. I could care less that I'm bald. I wear a hat because it was something cool when we started the show. I had like 186 different hats that I was going to wear. So bald really doesn't matter. I'm going to add a fifth set, and it's on the Brewer fans that I don't like. The ones who are like, this is a conspiracy. He wanted to go to the Dodgers. All they were doing was just saying, oh, Tarik, where do you want to go? Oh, you want to go to the Dodgers? Okay. This is 1,000% the Brewer or Major League Baseball making them trade him to the Dodgers. That's what this was. I don't
wait,
like that.
No, you just wait. Hold up. No. This needs to be cleared up. You just brought up two different scenarios. Nope. You brought up two scenarios in one. Not fair. Ready? There is the contingent of owners that think, you know what, it's not the worst thing if Tarik Skubal ends up on the Dodgers and they just sweep through the playoffs and win it. That's different from a team asking a player where he wants to go. That doesn't happen. And I actually saw that from many people commenting on baseball. Like, oh, well, you know how it works. They ask the player where he wants to go. I was like, since when? They do that when the player has a no-trade clause because they have no control. If they don't have a no-trade clause, they do not check with the player and say, we're getting a worse offer from the Dodgers, but I heard you want to go there, so we're going to be nice to you. The Tigers are pissed at Skubal, not like for what he's done, but they wanted him there and they can't come up to terms. They're not like, oh, let me make sure it's a cushy landing spot for him. That's ridiculous.
I agree.
I have seen
that.
What? Yeah, you've seen teams talk to players about where they want to go. This was not one of those situations.
No. Yes. Usually, though, it would be a guy that's late in his career. It's getting towards the end, and they'll say, "Hey, we have a chance to trade you to A or B." But the deals are similar.
That's not when you're the top starter.
Agreed. They didn't go to Skubal and say, "Hey, where would you prefer to go?" And he said, "LA," and they're like, "Okay, you're going to LA, no matter what they offer us." Scott Harris isn't that dumb.
No, he's not that dumb. He liked the final offer that he got from the Dodgers better than what he got from the Brewers. I guarantee you, if we sat down with Scott Harris and said, were there 4 players on the Brewers, aside from Jesus Mate, in the organization that would have landed you Brewers package versus Dodgers package, he would have said yes.
And this is not just a one-way street. The Tigers say, hey, I would like this guy. They do it all in tiers. Hey, we feel like Tarik Skubal is worth this tier, one from this tier, one from this tier, and each team evaluates each of those differently. And for everybody who's like, oh, actually have some ball knowledge, actually do some research. We do a ton of research. And the only name that's come out is Luis Pena. Everything else is conjecture. There's no other. When Scott says Jet Williams, that doesn't mean Jet Williams was in it. We're talking about other hitters that are in the top 100. That is it. There's no so unless you say Luis Pena, no chance we're getting Tarik Skubal to get rid of Luis Pena. That's the only real name there is. No way it was a different package. The package was liked better by the Tigers from the Dodgers. That's it. There's nothing. If the Brewers wanted to get it done, they needed a better package.
Hope to me is the key. The Tigers think Hope is going to be a stud. That's what it came down to for me. And listen, for all the people saying River Ryan had a 1.33 ERA when he was healthy, he's been in the big leagues one time, okay? And that year he had a 1.33 ERA in 20 innings. 20 innings, okay? He also walked 9 in 20 innings, okay? Now, this year in AAA, he is 3-1 with a 4.46 ERA, 36 innings, 43 strikeouts. Okay, fine. He's also 28 years old. Okay, and then the other thing is we all know who Logan Henderson is. So stop saying we don't know who Logan Henderson is. He pitched really well last night for the Brewers. I've watched Logan Henderson pitch. I've done a game where Logan Henderson started the game. He's a really good pitcher. But I'm just going to ask this question plain and simple to all you Brewer fans out there. Would you rather have Miz and Logan Henderson or Miz and Tarik Skubal pitching against a playoff series, pitching in a playoff series as your 1-2? That's the simple question. And if your opinion is Logan Henderson, then I'm proud of you, Brewer fans. You got Logan Henderson. But for this year, if your answer is Tarik Skubal, then you make the deal for Tarik Skubal.
Yeah, very simple.
That's it. That's it. That's all of it.
And also, I still think there was a world where Henderson didn't even need to be included, and they still could have come up with the right package. Would it have had to potentially be 4 or 5 guys? Maybe. But that was your choice. And Brewers fans still coming after me about all of this have not answered the question of, do you hate Robbie Ray? Do you hate Casey Mize? Do you hate Clay Holmes? Do you hate Jose Soriano? How far down do we need to go? Do you hate Trevor Rogers? Right? Should we just keep going with players that were not added?
I don't know. I'm done talking about this. They didn't get them, and I'm tired of fighting with people that are keyboard warriors. So congratulations, Brewers. I hope you win the World Series.
And for Brewers fans that don't care about this year as much, I really, really am rooting for you in 2089. I won't be here, but I'm rooting for you.
I think the Brewers still have a chance. Just to be honest,
they definitely do. We're not saying
they don't.
Everything has to be taken so literally, right? Now, if the Brewers win, it's going to be, oh, they hated them, they're terrible. No. All we're saying is when you have an opportunity to get a big player like Skubal, or, again, option B, a number of pitchers that I listed, to me, I'm just wondering why. Did you not like all of those other pitchers I just listed? Because I do. I like them. Cubs
like them, and they're in your division. And you're gonna end up probably maybe playing them in the postseason. So
it just puts a lot of heat on your players. They have to all perform and make sure that what they got was enough. Because if not,
Manny Machado, 2018, Manny Machado was almost a Brewer, to the point where Manny Machado asked somebody to take his equipment from the All-Star game back to Milwaukee. That's how close Manny Machado was to being a Brewer. Does Manny Machado help us win a World Series? I don't know. Mike Moustakas ended up being the third baseman we picked up, moving Travis Shaw to second or Moose to second, whatever. Scope we picked up also. They had some big hits for us. Does that make the difference? I don't know. But if you can guarantee me that somebody is going to make the difference, I think there's a time you got to move in, or you're always just making the playoffs.
Wait, I have one quick follow-up question because I forgot about this. Kratz was on that team in 2018. What was everyone saying when you didn't come up with Machado?
Honestly, we didn't know about it until after the trade deadline. But at that time, we had gotten Moose, and Moose came in and just killed it right away. So nobody really cared. But
because you got an option B that was good?
We got an option B that was good, which is exactly what you're saying, Scott.
Yes, and that's why I asked.
You say, did Manny Machado help the Dodgers get to the World Series? No, he actually fell on his face that championship series, but he was on that team, so you never know. And I've talked about it countless times about the Jacob deGrom for Corbin Burns. Never would that be a good trade for the future. And that's what people need to get through their head, is it's never a good trade for the future if you have legitimate players that you're trading away. The issue is, how much are those legitimate players you're trading away helping the current team? Luis Pena, even Jesus Mate, any of those guys, are they going to help you win a World Series this year? The answer is no. Jacob deGrom could have come over in 18. Corbin Burns helped us. Big Woo helped us. He had a dinger against Clayton Kershaw in game 1 of the NLCS. So they're different cases, but all this stuff is tried to figure it out before and coming up to the trade deadline. And you know what? They didn't get the job done, and the Brewers can still win. FT is not saying the Brewers can't still win.
Yeah, the core argument is just the amount of people that think it's okay that you don't land a starter like that, and how dare we want the Brewers to be better. I just don't get. I'm like, what are we playing the game for anymore?
Fine.
Okay.
Brewers also, again, they're going to have to. I'm just going to say this. They're going to have to go through the Dodgers, Cubs, Phillies, Braves. Those 4 teams are going to probably more than likely be in unless something crazy happens. Cubs are in. Dodgers are going to be in. Braves are going to be in. There's 3 of the, and then the Brewers. So there's 4. There's probably going to be the Phillies.
Yeah.
And then the Padres or Diamondbacks is the 6th. they'll be the 4 seed, so they're going to have to. They're going to be probably the 1 or the 2, so they'll get a bye. So they're either going to get Braves, Padres, Diamondbacks, and then Phillies, Cubs. Right. So let's say they're the 1 seed.
Okay.
And the Cubs are the top wild card, and they get through. And then the Brewers and Cubs have to play again like they did last year. And the Cubs go Holmes, Imanaga, Cabrera, Gosman, and with their defense and the way they're swinging. Do you feel good about that, Brewers?
Zephyr John, I think, is going to be really helpful.
Zephyr John was nasty last night. He pitched last night. He was nasty.
He's good.
I don't know. It's just us. Can the Brewers do it? Absolutely. Can the Brewers do it? 100%.
But if they don't,
I'm not going to say I told you so because it's not in our nature. But if they do it, then we'll have I told you so.
Well, it's in my nature, so I'm going to do it. Okay. Because you know what? Sometimes we fall on our face too, and we're dead wrong, and we say I'm dead wrong. But right now, we'll see what happens. Let's get to one other issue in Milwaukee right now. Booing of Christian Yelich. Pat Murphy, Brewers manager, talked about it.
I heard a couple fans today, the kind of start getting down on Yelich, and I know some of you guys are talking about the last this many games or that many. Like, look, guys, this guy's meant unbelievable amount to our organization, and the way he leads in there, you guys don't get to see. He doesn't need my protection. He doesn't need me to speak up for him, but he needs encouragement. So I'm asking the fans to understand this guy. Remember who this guy was. You know what I mean? I don't know how many MVPs the Brewers have had in their past history. MVPs. I'm just saying, Yelich, like, God, he basically won 2-2. If 19 he doesn't go down at the end, he wins that. So let's not forget what he's done. And that doesn't give him the grace to not, if he's in the lineup, he's got to perform, and he will. We just can't start piling on when this guy's done a lot. He deserves the respect, and hopefully our fans understand that. That's when, again, if we're going to thread the needle, we need Yelich.
Do you think they're going to give him the Trey Turner treatment?
I think Brewers I think it's a minority that was booing him. I think it's unfair.
I agree. I don't remember the Brewers booing anyway.
Well, he heard enough booing that he felt like he needed to say something.
I don't think they needed.
He wouldn't.
Look back at his 2 MVP seasons. I know he only won 1 MVP, but those 2 seasons were elite. Last year, he was a ridiculous contributor to this team. A 3 WAR, a 2.3 WAR in 73 games, an all-star in 24. Like, this dude is 100% everything that Pat Murphy said he is, and he means everything to all these young guys that are doing well. I would bet for Christian Yelich to be a major part of this team. If they're going to win, he has to do well, and I think he will.
What did Murph meant when he say thread the needle? If we're going to thread the needle, what is that? I want to know. That's what been my follow-up. What do you mean, Murph, by threading the needle?
Get by without Skubal.
I don't know. That was when his quote to me was, if we're gonna thread the needle. What does that mean? That would be my follow-up. Whoever was in that room, McCalvey, whoever it is, I would have said, what does threading the needle mean?
It means it's hard to win the World Series.
Oh.
That's what it means.
Oh. Okay. I don't know. It was just an interesting choice of words from Murph to say thread the needle.
Sometimes managers are very calculated with how they say things. Not holding back. I'm saying there are messages within their words.
Yes, that's why it was very interesting.
Yes.
And Murph is one of the best at doing that.
He's so good at it.
That's why I was wondering what that means.
I want to make sure we have.
We never even talked about this when we were in Milwaukee. AJ kind of got bit by Murph a little bit when we were at the BBWAs last year because AJ said something about college something, and he goes, is that like a negative connotation? And AJ's like, what? No. But Trevor McGill came on the show and was like, we kind of have that Murph kind of has that college mentality. So I wonder if he bit back at Trevor McGill. I know this was back a few days when we were in Milwaukee, but AJ called a spade exactly, and Trevor McGill said it said the exact same thing. I don't know. I think that college mentality is a positive thing that the locker room sees. And I think Murph is sometimes like, oh, no.
I 100% meant that as a compliment. I think that's awesome the way they play. I love the way they play the game. Yep. I cannot compliment the Brewers anymore. And I've said it to Murph, and I'll say it to Murph till I die, that I love the way he goes about what he does and the way he protects his players. And they play baseball like an older school type, right? They're not relying on homers. And I love that. I meant that as a compliment. I've told Murph that. I'm like, Murph, I meant that as a compliment. And if you have a problem with it, then I can't help you with that one.
My thing is, I like how he does actually call guys out gracefully sometimes. Like, if you're a manager that just always defends every single iota of what a player does, then nobody really is listening to you because they know that you're just, for a lack of a better term, a homer, right? Murph sometimes will be like, yeah, he's really been bad lately, and here's what I'm seeing. And to me, I think that's more endearing to actually explain what's going on.
Yeah, true.
More real.
More professional.
Anyways, like I said, I love Murph. I love Matt Arnold. I love Vassallo. I love Bernie Brewer. I think the Brewers are awesome. I think they're fun. I can't wait to go there in the postseason. It's going to be a rock.